Good morning, Lawrence. We have Nico Yoch in studio with us today. Tell us a little about who you are and about your music.
My name is Nico Yoch. I'm from Kansas City. I am a hip hop artist, and I was a former Jayhawk. So yeah,
Rock chalk.
rock chalk.
And then I did a little of my own research on you. I heard that your passion for music started when you were around 9, when you started writing lyrics. Can you tell us about that?
As a kid, I grew up, mom and dad listened to rock and roll, so I was always kind of away from hip hop. But in elementary school, I was around 2 of my buddies, and they were freestyling, rapping, and kind of getting into it, and I thought it was fascinating, and I actually speak about it a little bit in my song "Ain't Stopping." So. The Christian Garcia and Bradley Searles, mad props to both of them. It was something, they put me on Mystical, and that's who I really listened to for a long time.
Oh, wow, awesome.
So Neptunes, Jay-Z, all those guys, Outkast, but.
So would you say they influenced kind of your style?
Oh yeah. A lot of people think I'm aggressive, and I think a lot of that comes from just a lot of my favorite artists, the Pacs, the Biggies, and a lot of that. Yeah, I would say Mystical was a big factor. My mom about slapped me across my head when she heard it for the first time. So yeah.
Well, and then you said you were a former Jayhawk. I also heard that you started a studio in your dorm room. To me, that just screams drive and ambition.
Yes. We were sitting there one day, and I have a close friend of mine. His name's Cheston, and me and him we were trying to figure out how to record. We had these little computer mics, and we were trying to figure out how to make it happen, and it just wasn't working. So I started doing my research, and that's kind of where the skill started developing, was when I did, dug a little deeper into, how it worked as far as recording the sound and, everything. And we had a guy come in. It was a good friend of my dad's who came in and helped me build a booth inside of Naismith, actually. So
it sounds like you have a lot of good people helping you out along the way too.
Absolutely. Great people around me. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. So.
And then with that, have you had some challenges throughout your experience, especially after you had your first mixtape drop, the Peter Parker mixtape?
Yeah. We've had some challenges. I think the biggest challenge is, as an artist, obviously, is to be innovative. There's always that, idea of, being, someone who's going to make it big, or someone who's going to be, on that next level. And to be able to, be innovative yet, yourself that's the biggest trick, I feel like, as an artist. A lot of times, hip hop is kind of, that mockery. I mean, to be able to stay real and give the experiences that I think that's the biggest struggle, and not say the same thing that someone's already said. So that's the biggest struggle, I feel like, as an artist.
So what are some things that inspire you to keep being innovative and being on top and pushing through when things get tough?
Most recently was the Grammys. Sitting on the couch looking at, watching the TV, and just, there's too many occurrences where I'm around great musicians and people that, it's just, I feel like, when you want something bad enough, you can make it happen. And I guess in a way, when I watch other people achieve their dreams, it pumps me up to want to get there. So that motivates the hell out of me, really, just seeing other people achieve something that, coming from lesser circumstances or whatever it is. And I've been around so many great artists, and had so many, too good to be true kind of moments to not get somewhere with this. And that's what really motivates me and pushes me harder every time, I think about it. So
that's good. And what advice do you have for artists out there who are trying to get into the business and maybe struggling or have challenges that they're facing?
I think it goes right back to that biggest complication as an artist is being real and being yourself and pulling from your experiences. I think if you're an artist getting into this, understand that it is a lot of work. Too many times I have people hit me up and they're like, oh, hey, I want to send you this track, or I want to do this, do this or do this or do this, and they forget how much time it goes into it, and they forget, that, to really pull from your experiences and pull from what it is that the most, you know what I mean? And so if you're an artist getting into it, I'd say just, be yourself and really try to pull from the experiences that you have and focus on what it is that makes you who you are. Even if you're trying to discover yourself, talk about that. So
that's great. And then you made a comment that I really liked, talking about how you push yourself, and if you want something, you're going to go after it.
Absolutely.
Speaking about that, how did you tell us about competing to open for Eminem at Can Rocks? It's like, that to me was, I was just like, whoa, this dude is a way bigger deal than I had originally intended.
Yeah, that's funny, because that's what a lot of people, that was the impression a lot of people got too. Honestly, it goes right back to when I do shows, or when we go out to showcase what it is. I'm a big believer that you got to put out that once in a lifetime experience. You got to give someone that bigger, better, like, who is this kid? Where is he from? What is he doing? What do I do? It's all about being innovative. And I think that when I was doing my shows, I was trying to figure out how I'm going to be innovative. How am I going to be? So we put on the best show we could possibly put on, and then it was like people started noticing. So next thing you know, we won a, because I have a band. That's why I keep saying we. We competed for that Can't Rocks this thing. We took second to a 25-year band. So I mean, we lost by like 2 points, and a lot of people are like, oh, you lost to a reggae band. How'd you lose? And I'm like, these people have been playing music longer than I've been alive. You know what I mean? So I'm 23 years old. I lost to a band that's been playing together for 25 years. I mean, it was literally like one of the greatest underground shows I've ever seen. So but we try to give that once in a lifetime experience, and so I think that there's other crazy things, like, just like I said, the Too Good to Be Trues, like when we were filming my music video, just knowing like the circle of people that were around me that we had no idea we had known each other for so many years. It was just crazy. So.
And then tell us a little bit about your music video. I got a chance to watch Ain't Stopping Another Day and loved it. I was blown away by the professionalism of the film and just the creativity. Tell us a little bit about it and what that was like. That was the most surreal, aside from a couple other circumstances, the most surreal thing ever. What was it? It was like 33 hours of film. Oh, wow.
Yeah, 33 hours of film, 2 days. We got like 2 hours of sleep every night, and it was incredible. Basically, me and Josh Doak, he's CEO and owner of Rockhaven Films. They do a lot of stuff for the Jayhawks, and me and him sat down and talked about it for a while, and he was like, I want to rob a bank. And I was like, okay, all right, we're gonna rob a bank. So we got to talking about it, and he was actually, I think, in the Philippines. Is that Thailand? So he was in Thailand when we started the conversation back and forth, and come to find out, me and him had been. I was working for the KU football team as a manager for a while, and he had been standing on the sideline next to me when. I was working, so we didn't even know each other, and that was one of those circumstances that just kind of came back, full circle, and we were like, how did that happen, and how did we not notice it?
It's a small world.
It's a very small world. So that was one of them, but the video, it was just, I mean, the concept was Josh's idea, and then we just rounded up as much stuff as we possibly could to make it happen, and it was one of those things, like, we wanted it bad enough, and it happened, and I mean, it's been surreal, because we've had a lot of people comment like, dude, I've never seen that from Kansas. Like, who are you? Like, so we really made a statement. And big thanks to Josh Doak and Rockhaven Films, Ian Trimble, and Jake Schultz and Ed Scher. So.
What else have you had event-wise that has gone on in your life that has been a really big experience for you?
Event-wise, like you said, it was like as far as shows?
Shows, yeah. Whatever, meeting people that you didn't know you'd meet.
Oh, we... Another big thing was kind of like startled people was the Asherah show. We had a great feedback from that show, and I've actually I've been looking into doing another show, opening up for another big act out here in Lawrence, because there's nothing like a college environment. Having everybody, you know what I mean. It's just a great feeling, great, it motivates you, and so that the Asherah show was probably one of my favorite shows. The energy was just absolutely crazy. The crowd response was crazy. And to this day, my drummer Dustin Bebermeyer, or Busty, he tells me that was my favorite show I've ever played, and he's played with some big acts. He's played with Tech Nine. He's played with so it was crazy. It was a surreal experience. But yeah, that would be one of them.
That's awesome. And then I read on your website that you've really been like in the music in it for the past 2 years, and it seems like you've had a lot of big stuff going on.
Yeah.
What's next for you? Shows, music videos? What do you got going? What's next for Nico Yoch?
I'm actually working on an album called Genesis. It's just talking about like the beginning of this journey. That's the name, Genesis. There's no release date yet, just because like I've learned from my past, like the Peter Parker mixtape and No Days Off. I gave myself a deadline, and it just like those projects weren't what I pictured. So I kind of pushed it as much as I possibly could, and then I regretted it. Hindsight 2020 kind of thing, where it was like, man, this is a good project, but it's not necessarily what I wanted to convey, and this isn't how I want to do it. So Genesis, I could see it being done this year, but I'm doing a lot more like original, real DJ scratch, real old school hip hop, stand-up bass, just real roots, just taking it back and just making it feel organic and not so electronic, I guess, if you will. So
yeah. And how would you describe your style and flavor to people who don't know already?
Man, I don't know. I get mixed responses. I mean, I have a lot of people tell me that it's old school with like a new school attitude. So I mean, I don't know, cause it's different. Cause I have people tell me that the performances are like a million times better than the CDs, and then I have people say that the CDs are crazy, cause they feel it. Like, there's an artist out in Australia, and he's actually like pretty big, Neo Pizzo, and he's from the Immaculate, and I mean it's a big group in like the underground hip hop, and he's been like messaging me back and forth like, dude, we got to get you out here and do a show with your band. But I'd say I like to keep it a little old school, wisdom versus swag and boasting and stuff like that. So
that's great, and you seem to have a great energy about you from watching your music videos and from some of the concert pics and whatnot. So you seem to have a lot going on. Is there some place you want to tell people where they can find your music? Yeah,
absolutely. All my music is free. I'm at a point where I just feel like everybody needs to hear it. So you can go to NicoYoch.com. That's NicoYoch.com. And all the music's free, all the videos, the interview's going to be there and everything. So you can follow me on Twitter at Nico_official, and Facebook, just Nico Yoch. So
awesome, great. That's what we like to hear. Lawrence, KJHK's got much love for Nico Yoch, and if it's cool with you, we would love to play your Ain't Stoppin' song.
Absolutely.
Great. Is there anything else you want to say before we get off here?
No, mad love, rock chalk.
Awesome. Thank you all for having me. We have Nico Yoch on today. We're going to play his song Ain't Stoppin', and it's going to roll into rotation, so keep it locked here at KJHK 90.7 FM.